Hey beauties, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stacy. I have a very special guest with me today, my friend Jessica.
Hello.
And today we're going to be filming a kind of makeup tips and tricks for beginners. So we're just going to be talking about makeup, and I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks with Jessica to help her perfect her makeup game. So we really hope that you enjoy this video and find it informative or helpful. And if you do, please be sure and give the video a thumbs up and click subscribe down below if you have not already. I would really love to have you all as part of my YouTube family. Now, without any further ado, let's jump right on into the video. Okay, so the face base is done. Now we're going to move on to eyebrows, and I'm going to be using the It Cosmetics Brow Power Brow Pencil. So I'm going to take the spoolie in and comb through the brows first. And then I'm going to take the pencil in and just outline and fill in. I'm going to get the shape going first, and then once you get the shape going, then you can just fill in the inside. So I always line the top of my brows first and then the bottom, and then I start from the end and then just start filling in the sparse parts. One of my brows is way more sparse than the other one, so it's like so hard for me to get mine even. My left brow is way more sparse and thin and just will not grow like my right one. So when I'm filling mine in, I forget twins. They're not even sisters. They're just barely related. But I do the best I can with what I'm working with.
I have a scar on my left, so I have a little jagged line right in the middle of it.
Yeah, but pencil will fill that right in. What do you think of the shape of that one?
Looks good.
They say eyebrows frame the face, and I totally agree with that, because my face, my makeup, and just my face in general looks so different before I do my eyebrows. I feel like my makeup look is not complete until I fill my eyebrows in. When you don't have eyeshadow on, and you have a fully filled in brow, it can look a little odd, especially when you are not used to filling your eyebrows in,
which I never do.
But then once we have all the eyeshadow on, it's all going to come together and it'll just flow all together. Then after you fill them in, you just want to take your spoolie, comb through them again, and just make sure there is no sparse spots you've missed.
Now when you're kind of brushing the spoolie, do you want to follow I guess the growth of the hair, or
yeah, when you're combing through, you want to comb the front part of your eyebrow like up, and then when you get towards the end, you want to kind of comb it out. So it's like up and out.
Okay.
Up and out. Which is how your hair would naturally flow anyway. Okay, now typically after I fill my brows in, I will go in with a brow gel. You don't have a brow gel, do you?
I do not.
So she doesn't have a brow gel with her, and
never heard of it.
My brow gel is blonde, and her eyebrows are a little bit darker. Her eyebrows are a little bit darker than mine, so I'm afraid if I use my blonde brow gels, if I use one of my blonde brow gels in her brows, it'll make her brows look too light. So I'm just going to skip that step. But all the brow gel does is just hold your brows in place and keep them from moving throughout the day. Now we are going to prime the eyelids, and I'm just going to use a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. You can use an eyeshadow primer or you can use a concealer. Either one will work, but this will prime the eyelids nicely for eyeshadow. This is a particularly important step if you have oily eyelids. If you have oily eyelids and your eyeshadow tends, or hooded eyes, and your eyeshadow tends to transfer from your lid up into your brow, close to your brow bone, or if your eyeshadow tends to crease a lot in the crease, and your eyeshadow tends to crease a lot, this will help prevent that, and it'll keep your eyeshadow in place from morning till night. So we're just going to start. With this. Okay. So I'm just going to close your eyes, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the center, and then we're going to blend it out. So I'm going to take that same brush that I used to blend out her concealer. This is just a concealer brush by MAC, and we are going to blend this out. You can also use concealer to clean up your eyebrows. If you make a mistake when you're doing your eyebrows, like you draw your line too far out, you can use concealer to basically erase the mistake. And concealer is also a good thing to prime your eyes with if you have a lot of discoloration on your eyelids, a lot of veining and discoloration on your eyelids, because the concealer will cover it up. Now we are going to take that same translucent mattifying powder, and we're going to set that concealer down, because if we don't set it down with the powder, then any eyeshadow we put on over top of it is just going to stick to the concealer. But by putting a powder down over top of the concealer, when we put the eyeshadows on, they'll blend really nice. Now we're going to go in with some eyeshadow. And she has requested like a peachy, a pinky look, or like a mauvey, purpley look. So I think we can pull that off. So let's go in with...
I told her I wanted to go glam.
She says she never does glam makeup.
I'm a neutral beige kind of girl usually. When on the rare occasion I do wear makeup, so
let's talk about glam, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Bestie out of the Shaaanxo palette. It's a nice pink toned brown shade. So I'm going to pick that shade up on a fluffy blender brush. Any fluffy blender brush will do. And you always want to tap off the excess. That's very important. Otherwise, you go in with too much product on your brush, and then it ends up falling down on your cheeks. And if you've already done your face makeup like we have, then that's just going to cause you a lot of aggravation. So when you have done your face makeup first, you go in, see the pigment on the brush, then you tap off the excess, and there is the difference in the pigmentation on the brush after you tap it off. So, and you want to start out light, especially with your transition shade. You want to start out light and then build it up to the intensity you want it. Okay, so let's see. Open your eyes. Okay, so Jessica has almond-shaped eyes, and they are partially hooded. They're not completely hooded because you can still see some of her eyelid when her eyes are open, but they are partially hooded, kind of like mine. So we're going to disguise the hood by putting a deeper transition shade in the crease to make it look like the hooded part of the eye, this part, is receding. Okay, so we're going to start on the outer corner here. Just want to start with a light pressure. You don't want to, see how I'm kind of holding back on the brush? You just want to hold back on the brush and just start with light pressure, because if you hold too far up on the brush, then that can give you too much color in one spot and make it harder to blend out. So you hold back on the brush and you start on the outer corner because that's where we want the most color. And then you start dragging it into the crease. And around. And like I said, you start out light and then you build it up. It's always easier to add than it is to take away. And we're going to go in on the other side. The same thing. And I will typically use, when I'm doing a transition shade, I'll typically use windshield wiper motions. When I'm doing it on myself, I'll just do. I'll start on the outer corner and get most of the color there. And then to blend, I'll start doing like windshield wiper motions through the crease. So I'm kind of pulling the eyeshadow out towards the end of the eyebrow to make it like a winged shape. And that's going to help elongate the eyes and lift the eyes. Okay, I think we're going to leave the transition shade as is for now. Now we're going to start to build up some depth through the crease and in the outer corner. Now we're going to go in with this shade here. It's called Stalker. And this is like a deep berry shade. Now we're going to put this on the outer corner and outer V. Just creating some more depth and dimension. So we are just keeping this shade a little bit lower than with the transition shade because we want this shade to blend nicely into the transition shade. Now we're just going to do the same thing, placing it on that outer corner, and then we're going to bring it a little into the crease, but we're going to keep it lower than we did that original transition shade. Now we're going to take this small, tiny smudger brush. I'm going to go in with the shade Vampit, and it's this very dark berry color. And this is going to go on the very outer corner, again, just to add some more depth and dimension. And it's going even lower than the other shades because you want a nice gradient. You want all the shades to seamlessly blend into each other. Okay, now we're going to go in with a shimmery lid color to get some shimmer going on. So I think we will go in with this shade here. This palette does not have any shade names, but this is a very pretty shade. I'm going to pick that up on a flat shader brush. I'm going to dip my brush in. Now this is typically how I apply shimmer shades because it gives them the most bang for their buck, so to speak. Gives them the most pop. So once I have the shade on my brush, I'm going to take some setting spray. This is MAC Fix Plus. And I'm just going to spritz the brush and dampen that shade. I'm just drying it a little bit. But once you dampen that, when you go in with it on your eyes, it's going to give you a lot more of a pop than it would if you went in with just the dry shade. So we're going to start with this on the outer portion of the lid. Now you don't want to bring the shimmer shade into your crease, especially if you have hooded eyes. So we're just going to bring this up to the crease.
So you're going to stop just short of the crease then?
Yeah, just right there. We're only putting that color on the
like
outer
that.
half. We're going to go in with a little lighter color on the inner half. So we're blending that towards the center. Okay, so I think what will go pretty with this pinky purple look is this light gold. It's like a champagne color. And it's very shimmery and pretty. I have used this shade before. So I'm going to do the same thing with that. Pick it up on the brush. Spritz it with the Fix Plus.
You're going to put it on the inside?
So I'm going to put that on the inner half and blend it into the purple on the outer half. Oh yeah. And then if it's not blended well enough to suit you, you just switch. See, I used one side of this brush for the purple and one side for the champagne color. So you can just switch right here and go back and forth in the middle there with the purple and then the champagne until it is blended together nicely. All right, so let's get some shimmer on the other eye, and then we will go back.
Definitely different than my normal browns and pinks, neutral shades.
Yeah, so we'll get some shimmer on that other eye, and then we'll go back in and do a final blend to make sure all the colors have blended together seamlessly, because you want nice seamless blends. You don't want harsh lines. Now we're going to take that original blender brush that we used with the transition shade in the crease, and we're just going to blend through the crease to make sure there's no harsh lines. I'm going to go in with that smudger brush that had that Vampire shade on it and just blend that shimmery purple in with that Vampire color. Now we're going to take a little bit of eyeshadow underneath the lower lash line. So I'm going back in with the smudger brush and dipping into that Vampire shade again. And we're going to run this along the outer portion of the lower lash line. So just look up for me, like towards the ceiling. We're just going to press this right up against that lower lash line. If you bring the dark shade all the way into the corner, it will close your eyes off and make them appear smaller. Now we're going back in with that original blender brush. We're going to dip just lightly into that shade Bestie, the one we used as our original transition shade. Knock off the excess. And then we're going to blend that out, that line out, so it's not a harsh line under the eye. So just look up for me again. See how that just took the edge off of that harsh line? One final step in the eyeshadow, and that is a inner corner highlight. So I'm going to go into the other side of the Shaaanxo palette, and I'm going to dip into the shade Holy Grail. I'm going to use just a little pencil brush and just lightly dip into the shade Holy Grail. Tap off the excess. And we are going to highlight the inner corner. So you just want to put it right in the tear duct. And this will open up the eyes and brighten it up. And then I'm going to take that same shade on the same pencil brush and take that right under the brow bone, where the brow bone arches. The arch of the brow, I mean. Right under the brow, on the brow bone, in the arch. That's what I'm trying to say. To highlight that area. And eyeshadow is done. What do you think?
I like it.
All that's left is eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick. So we're going to use this Vintage Cosmetics black eye pencil for the waterline. So I should probably let you line your waterline, the inside.
I am not good at that. You want to trust me.
If you want to use, you can use
It might
this
be
mirror.
easier.
All right, so we have our lower waterline lined with the black pencil liner. Now we're going to take these handy dandy eyelash curlers and curl the lashes. I'm afraid I'll pinch her skin, so I'm going to let her do this part. All right, we're going to go in with some mascara. She has the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. So we're going to do top and bottom lashes with this. You want to do it or you want me to?
I'll try.
I'm afraid of poking her in the eye.
Maybe I may get mascara everywhere.
Oh, I've been known to get mascara everywhere. How many times have you guys heard me say I'm so messy with my mascara?
It's awkward too.
And if you get mascara, like she got some mascara right here, let it dry. And if it dries completely, you can just flake it away.
Need me.
Yeah, so this is the NYX Lipliner. And it is in the shade Need Me. So it's just a pinky nude shade. So we're just going to line her lips and fill it in with this. Just like. These are super creamy liners. She has really thin lips, so I'm going to overline her lips just a little bit, make them look more full. I have really thin lips too, and I overline mine a lot. Today I didn't because I didn't line them at all. I just went in with a liquid lipstick, but when I use a liner, I have a tendency to overline mine. This looks like crazy bright, but because the lip color, the lip pencil is so dark, this will brighten it up a little. This is a NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. Right, I popped some in the center and then blend it out. Yeah, and then just like rub your lips together and blend it out. And that brings out the pink tones in the eyeshadows. Woo, look at you with your berry eyes and berry lips. You super berry.
That makes a big difference.
All right, what do you think?
I like it. It's good.
Okay.
This does not look like me at all.
All right, guys. So this is the finished look. What do you all think? Let us know in the comments down below. Do you like the magentas and the berry tones? I think pinks and purples look really pretty on blue eyes. So I think it suits her eye color very well. Yeah, we hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I hope that you found some of these tips and tricks helpful for yourself. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure and give it a thumbs up and click subscribe down below. If you have not already, I would love to have you as part of my little YouTube family here. And that's going to be all for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.